down once the squirrels got loose in the electric room. Eventually, all that was left of the moor and beyond were the monsters, and they weren't having too great of a time either. Vampires doom scroll for hours during the day, fangs concealed behind filters and fabrics at night as they prowl the streets so full it spoils their appetites. Well, how the hell am I supposed to get the suggested dose of vitamin D and secretly stockpile Flintstone's chewables? Werewolves mutter about smoke-shrouded skies obscuring the moon. Zombies moan about the confused being confused for Karens and contagion losing its luster, and all agree that there are far too many ghosts around now. They could be forgiven, almost, for almost forgetting. After all, what purpose could be served by spooks and scares this year? So late, no one seemed to get the message before anyway. They huddled around Zoom screens like seances. Are you there? We can see you, but we can't hear you. Can you hear us okay? They lamented. But the monsters were old, older than oracles, older than gods, and the oblivion of humanity would not deter their duty. They crept and staggered and sauntered and stealth and sloughed and snarled and hissed and whispered and sang, and with all their tired fury reminded all they encountered they should have stayed inside. All right, a little Halloween poetry to kick off our evening. What a delight to have all of you here. Great to see you all dressed up in various shades of sartorial splendor. And for those of us who live a Gothic fantasy, who grew up dancing to goth music, it's, Wednesday night for Lorian and I. But it's great to have you all here. We're just sitting down, partaking of good company and perhaps some worms meat or worms food, as it were. And in our black tea, you can't tell that it's black tea because it's in a black cup, but I promise you, it really is tea. So it is so nice to see all of you. And one of the things that I wanted to find out, and Lauren will be helping me to keep track, I wanted to publish on our Facebook site a listing of some suggested seasonal tunes to get us all in the mood. And I was going to ask each of you if you had some particular favorite Halloween jams you always like to listen to get you in the mood for the Halloween season. So I wanted just to kind of run through and ask everybody to share perhaps a tune or two that we can add to a list. And we'd like to publish that on our Facebook for all of our other members. Oh, good, we're adding some more. All right. So Micah, you first. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Micah. Tell me a favorite Halloween tune of yours. Oh, your Bluetooth is off. I can't hear you. Nope, still
It
off.
could be Nightmare Before Christmas. This is Halloween. Yeah.
Good. I got Nightmare Before Christmas. Lovely.
And I'm trying.
All right, Laura, how about you? Okay. Laura, how about you, dear? Oh, unmute, dear.
Sorry. Probably Vampire Empire by Kristen Lawrence. Kristen Lawrence is a beautiful lady pipe organist who does original compositions. So the instrumental version of Vampire Empire. And I've written a dance to go with it. Someday we will do. Excuse me, I have to let the cat in.
All right. Oh, and we've got some more people here. All right. Shauna, asking you for your favorite Halloween tune. What's a jam that you love to dance to?
Okay, I'm going to totally date myself here, Monster Mash.
Yay.
Nice. Can't go wrong with the classic.
That was the first
Very
45
good.
I ever bought with my own money.
Although also, I just thought of this one. She moved through the fair, which a lot of people don't listen to the lyrics closely enough, and they don't realize it's a ghost story. They think it's a lovely, sweet love ballad. It's a ghost story.
Ah,
Nice. All right. Who else has got a song out there that they're partial to for the Halloween season?
what about that old Devil Moon?
Lovely. And Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
I love Dead Man's Party by Oingo Boingo. The
Yeah.
whole album.
Another classic.
Very
Bewitched,
good.
bothered, and bewildered.
Nice. Very, very good. Thank you, Carol.
Jackson's Thriller in there too.
Absolutely.
Oh, how about God, it just popped my mind. Oh, Witchy Woman.
Very good. Eagles. I love anything by Voltaire, Cure, Peter Murphy. That'll really date some of us.
Oh,
Susie and the Band.
Bela Lugosi's dead.
Yeah, Bella
Yes.
Lugosi's really good.
Yeah.
Why am I not?
How many of you are old enough to remember going to the con dance like midnight when it would change over after the time warp to a more gothic tone?
Oh,
They
yeah.
danced until 3 in the morning.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Now, how many of you are too old to do that now? Yay.
Yes.
I have a song.
Yes.
It's Screaming Jay Hawkins. I put
Yeah.
a spell on you.
I put a spell on
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Classic one. Absolutely.
Yes.
And related to that, I had another one that I came up with.
Yes.
Everything from Hocus Pocus except I Put a Spell on You.
Okay.
The entire soundtrack, I really, oh God, that soundtrack is divine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
And
Let's keep
someone
going,
said,
traveling. Yes, go
someone
ahead.
said a long black veil,
Oh, yeah.
which is a ghost story song.
Oh, definitely it is.
Yes.
Very good.
And Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Good
Yes,
one.
yes.
And that
yes,
one
get the
really
one
makes
by
me-
Stan, what's his name, the original.
In the sky.
Oh God, what was his name? Stan something or other. That was the original guy who sang that. Yeah,
Well,
the best.
I
oh,
always remember Johnny Cash.
Yeah, partial to Johnny
well,
Cash.
but that was,
White wedding. You can't
Maybe we can compare them.
have white
I don't
wedding.
know. Compare them.
Thank you. Lorianne, we will talk later.
So while I've got some of you here, I'm going to ask Mr. Mark if he would share with us, being an English professor, if he would share a bit of classic Americana with us for our Halloween season. Mark, are you all set?
I'm ready when you are.
All right, please go ahead.
Richard asked me to read The Raven
Ooh.
by Edgar Allan Poe. So if you're game for that, let's try it and see what happens. See if it will set the mood as such. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping on my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this and nothing more." Distinctly I remember it was the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from the books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore. for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late night visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. That it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger. Hesitating then no longer, "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness. There, nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." Well, then I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard the tapping, somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Upon here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched upon my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas, just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, for by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though my chest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly grim, and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore? Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though it answered little meaning, little relevancy bore. But we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour, nothing farther than he uttered, not a feather that he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Never." Settled at the stillness, broken by reply so aptly spoken. "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught by some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore of nevermore." But the raven still beguiling all my fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushion seat in front of the bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. Thus I sat, engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing, to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee respite and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, quaff this kind nepenthe and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Oh, prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Oh, the raven, nevermore. Oh, prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if with that distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. By that word, our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting, get thee back into the tempest of the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thou soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of, alas, just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.
Nice. Thank you, Mark. Nice atmospheric piece for the kick off our holiday season.
Lovely, thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Is this where we do the snap? You know, if I could snap.
Yeah,
I think
nice turnout
snapping could
tonight.
wipe out
Nice
half
to
the
see everybody.
universe.
Nancy, nice to see you. You look great. Clifford, good to see you.
Hello.
Mary. We have another friend of mine, Dr. Starcevich, chair of the drama department at Peninsula College. Thanks, Laura. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here. I'm not all dressed up, so I'm just checking you guys out. You guys look awesome. You look fabulous.
So besides appearing on Zoom, anybody else have anything fun planned for the holiday? It's Halloween on a Saturday with a full moon, and we're all stuck at home with COVID.
My roommates and I are going to do a witch's walk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Walk through our neighborhood.
I'm doing a big setup outside, and we'll be welcoming any kids coming by for trick-or-treaters, but we don't get a lot. But this year, our downtown, which is where normally everybody goes to trick-or-treat, is not hosting a trick-or-treat this year. So who knows? Maybe I will get neighborhood kids.
Where do you live, Richard?
I am up in Port Angeles, Washington. We're about 40 minutes away from Twilight Country.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Okay, we don't mind Twilight. It paid for a lot of schools and road improvements.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
Is Jessica still here? I know we have at least one parent. Or Jenica, what are your kids doing? I have no idea what to think. I've been kind of scanning my neighborhood app, which isn't too horrible actually, to see, if people are coming or not. I was thinking, well, I could put like little baggies full of treats out, and I could sit on the lawn. I could put that like on the sidewalk, and I could sit on the lawn and say, take one. I don't know. I'm not gonna breathe on them or have them breathe on me.
Yeah, I'm actually staying with a friend recovering. Well, I will be recovering from surgery at her place. So she's building us a bonfire.
Oh, well, that's nice. Bonfire be good for healing. Sorry,
very appropriate bonfires.
Yeah, and I'm actually kind of excited about the surgery because it's been a long time coming, and I never had any need of that organ anyway, and I'm going to be really glad to have it gone.
So is this the gallbladder?
No, the gallbladder's history. That was 2 years ago.
That's what I was thinking.
No, this is my uterus.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
gallbladders are actually useful critters until they're not.
Yeah, my husband had his taken out this spring. That was quite an adventure. Yeah.
But I had never had any intention of using my uterus, and I'm certainly not going to use it now. And without getting into the gory details, it's been causing me a lot of health problems, and it's going to be gone.
Yay!
So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look out from the recovery period, because surgery is not fun. Yeah, the recovery from abdominal surgery is not particularly fun. But after that, I will not be anemic all the time. So I'm excited. And I think I'm going to put something also on my fan page. For those of you who don't know, I'm an author. Conspiracy of Ravens is my fan page. And I'm going to ask people, I think, to if they dress in their Halloween costumes, or if they aren't doing it this year, if they have a picture from other years or their house is decorated, and just let's all have our costume parade online.
Sure.
Great idea.
Yeah, Richard was plotting something like that. in between, we've had 4 events this month already. We're kind of, and I'm working, and other people are working. Jessica.
The nice thing is, if you do it with still pictures, you don't have to be present running the Zoom. They just put it on the timeline.
Right, but someone has to do that. Maybe we'll just link to yours.
You are more than welcome to. Actually, that'd be cool, because if you put something up on Time Travelers, I have to put the post up yet, but if you put something up on Time Travelers, then I'm sure there'll be more costumes, because, costumes.
Well, make your post, since it's your idea, and then we'll share it on my page. You go ahead and share it on our page.
Cool.
And,
I will do that tonight after this, because I'm not sophisticated enough to do that and do this at the same time.
Okay. Well, of course not right now, but later. That's fine. Anytime. I mean, I think really we should do it early too, don't you think, Richard?
I think so. You're never too early to celebrate Halloween.
Yeah.
No.
Or for those of us
February.
who do it all
There-
year round.
There's
Yeah.
there's no reason not to keep the celebration going.
That's the
Absolutely.
one thing that really sucks because I don't go to stores to shop anymore. Order my stuff from Fred Meyer's or Amazon and have it delivered. So it's like I can't go and just cruise for home decor.
I
'Cause
miss my Value Village so bad. I haven't gone. I mean, can you imagine? I have not been in a thrift store since February. I just shop at my own house.
Do you know how much money I have saved? Because of
Not, yeah.
One of the things that we endeavor to provide as a guild is to provide useful information for customers everywhere. And one of the things that I thought I would like to share with you are some suggestions and pointers for removing blood from clothing. It seems somewhat appropriate for those of us that hand sew or whatever.
Or
So
whatever.
Running lightweight fabrics under cold water. Up your laundry game with some good blood removal products like oxygenated bleachers or carbon stain devils, number 4. The suggestion is to rub salt or saline solution on stain, hydrogen peroxide or lemon juice to blood stains, or you can try a paste of baking soda. I'm told that it's weird, but you can also use meat tenderizer to remove blood stains. And if push comes to shove, what most of us grew up doing is just using plain old saliva. But you want to make sure that you try to get it as quickly as possible so it can blot those stains to remove them. And
Well, and
Well,
many
go ahead.
people don't understand, Richard. It's only your saliva for your blood. So if it's someone else's blood,
Is that for real?
yes, it is
Wow.
absolutely for. I'm a tailor, and we get people who send us their things because I work on uniforms for EMTs and firefighters, and they're like, "Can you get the blood out of this?" And it's like, "No, sweetie, you ironed it."
yeah,
Oh.
right. Don't use hot water. That
Yeah.
sets it.
Oh,
That's
the other
like-
the other thing that works is protein shampoo.
Yes, or Folex carpet cleaner will take almost anything out of almost anything.
But will
It's-
it leave anything still intact?
Yes, actually, it's pretty darn gentle. You can. The
How is
great
it
thing,
spelled?
Folex.
So soul like the sun.
No, F like Franklin.
Okay.
Folex. You get it at the grocery store for like $5 or $6 a bottle, or you can order it on one of those friendly internety places, and they'll charge you a lot more. And it is quite miraculous for removing all sorts of stains.
Oh, cool.
I put
Blood,
it in chat,
mascara.
so you can put your tips in the chat there. You have a chat button in the middle of your screen, probably.
So see,
Sorry.
that's why you want to be a guild member, because you learn all these fascinating things that you might not otherwise have known before. So if you have not renewed your guild membership, now is a good season to do so.
Costuming
All
I can
right,
do.
how's everybody else doing? Judith, it's lovely to see you again.
Good to see you. You're looking so lovely and gothic. All of our gothic things are over there, and so you're seeing the northwest art, except for Terry's lovely new friend George the Raven. Yeah, we actually decorated for the season, which we have not done in many years, and so there are lovely black pine boughs and pumpkin lights garlanding the walkway to the door. And
one of the highlights for my kids growing up was going to Judith and Terry's place, where Terry would create a wonderful neighborhood haunted house, and it was great. And my kids were still pretty small and knew Uncle Terry as a big cuddly bear until he put on the big evil Satan mask, and then it was just like, I'm not going in there. So
Yeah, but I remember them actually, I think it was Shandy, lovely darling Shandy, saying, oh, okay. So is it just Terry? No, sweetie, there's other people in there. Well, I'll go if Terry takes me.
So
And then she told him he had to scream. So that was a fun night. So yeah, I'll show you. Here's George. This is what he does.
Nice.
Oh.
Except they
Okay.
have a raven cawing, and ravens don't caw, they croak.
He doesn't. Yeah, my raven.
He's not really a raven. He's more of a crow. Ravens have longer, thicker beaks, and they have little fun frills. So
Okay, I
So,
thought I
my
thought I was seeing the beak thrill or beak feathers there. There's no beak feathers.
no, there's no beak feathers. But
Okay.
he's trying hard. He's a very big crow. He's a crow of unusual size.
A crow of unusual
Sorry,
size. I like
it was
See
Princess
those
Bride.
Not
races?
bird.
I don't think they exist.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I thought that we had the same bird for a sec. I'm sorry about that presumption. It's like,
Well, everyone's showing off their crows and or ravens. I have to show off, except the light bulb died. But it's a raven. Let me get back far enough. Raven holding a light. So this is my year-round. This was my one of my first. I'm fed up with COVID gifts to myself. And now I'm trying to decide whether I deserve I had to go through surgery Raven nightlight, because it's a really cool nightlight.
oh, I think you must need one.
Yes, it's also I'm going so far in debt. What's another $33? Because I have no idea how I'm going to pay for the surgery. I mean, I have health insurance. Without health insurance, it'd be like more than my house and car together. But even with health insurance, my deductible is like $1,800. So I have no idea.
I kind of spend a lot on stuff myself, so yeah.
What is it?
Oh, this is part of my current cosplay.
Oh, a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet, yes. And it's missing the top part because I dropped it somewhere, but there's this top part that attaches to it, the back magnetically, so that you can fit yourself into it and still have that Iron Man solid metal on top look.
Oh, wow.
And this thing actually lights up.
Wow.
Totally cool.
There you
I
go.
also have these repulsor
You
gloves.
want to see people?
Very cool.
You want to see people?
Oh, wait. Do we have a cute animal?
Yeah, we do, and she's a year-round Halloween accessory. If I could, her name. Oh, she is not going to cooperate. Her name is actually Samhain because she's orange and black.
That is so cute.
Yeah, if I actually knew how to do stuff, I could pull up a picture. Since she knew I was going to try to pick her up, and she wasn't in the mood to be picked up. So she's probably going to be under furniture now for the rest of the night.
I also
Shauna.
Yeah.
Shauna, I had a Samhain too. I had him for 21 years.
Oh, cool. Black or black and orange?
Oh, black.
I had a black Morgan kitty.
Oh.
Yeah, he was really cool.
and
Although I did have a problem. I had him about the same time I had the wolf hybrid, and he kept on beating up the wolf hybrid and picked on him. And would go into his crate and play with his toys if it was raining. Just you know how kids get when it's raining and they want to go outside and play, and well, maybe they don't anymore because kids don't go outside and play anymore. But
Probably not.
I do sometimes. I played when I was a kid outside, even when there was no one to play with.
but anyway, you know how like when you were like I came from a family of 7, so we drove my mom nuts when it was raining. And so I always thought, well, I'm not having kids, so I don't ever have to deal with that. Yeah, until I had cats and a wolf hybrid, and the cats were picking on the wolf hybrid because it was raining and they were bored. And he would come and get me and take me, he would like act like he needed to go out or something. So I get up to let him out, and then he'd lead me over to where the cat was laying in his crate because he wanted me to rescue, because he wanted to go into his crate, but he couldn't because a cat was there. Yeah, cats. Oh, no. She came over. I was like really surprised, but as soon as I dropped my hand, she's gone. She's really cute. I'll have to post a picture of her on the thingy after this. You can tell I'm really up on the technical terms too.
Okay, so I do have yet another silly share. This is the Professor T. Smith's celebrated, celebrated famous lightning bug or firefly tonic. And there's too much light in the room, so we can't actually really make it blink, but it's been blinking in the window here for a while. And so that's a Halloween prop I made this year.
Nice.
The jar full of electric.
Also, in case you can't see, I have an arc reactor that's strapped to my chest with bandages. Yeah. Really there.
Go big or go home.
Yep.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the evening, somebody was asking about the candles that I have behind me here.
Oh, yes.
And so I'll turn so you can see some down there behind me.
And,
So I had posted earlier that I had been looking for pool noodles. These candles are all made pool noodles cut to different sizes and then caulked with hot glue to score and scorch the sides of the styrofoam noodles, and also caulked with a mix of different fabric paints to get nice gooey, gluey dribbles down them, and then about 3 different paints, and then LED candles crammed inside of them. So now I've got a nice candle set. So if we ever get to do like the enchanted haunted forest, we got a good start on some candle decor, and we'll do a lot more. But I've always loved big Gothic-y, drippy candles. I was a huge fan of the sets of Catherine the Great with Marlene Dietrich, where the whole castle was literally dripping in wax. So I thought this tea was a good excuse to make some of these. They pair well.
That'd be great. I was thinking of doing a Slavic tea.
Yes, that'd be great.
Are you saying Slavic?
Yes, a Slavic kind of a Russian kind of tea.
Yeah, I would be down for it. I'm about a quarter Slavic, so.
Yeah,
and I grew up in
Russian,
Pennsylvania, so everything was all about the German heritage because I'm half German. But I'm just found out we didn't actually know whether we were Czech or Slavic, and I found out we're Slavic and Polish.
I totally want to build a Baba Yaga house with chicken feet.
Yes.
Years ago,
so Micah, is there going to be
Russian court outfit?
Oh, Lori, that would be so cool for Enchanted Forest Ball.
Are the best.
Richard and I have been talking about the haunted. The next time we do a theme, I don't know, we're kind of tied into keeping rainforest for now because we had all the decor purchased.
Yeah.
I still have a box of vines sitting in my in my house. Yeah.
Although, and of course, this is Shauna causing lots of trouble because, but have you thought of doing a fundraiser haunted house?
That would be cool.
Well, someday when there's
I mean, obviously,
a-
yeah, when it's safe to gather. Yes.
I've wanted to
Speaking of
design.
haunted houses, can I share really
Next
quickly?
year.
This
Next
year.
is a Gothic Tiki Mug. Those of you who know me know that I skirt many different fandoms, and this was made by a friend of mine for the haunted house called Netherworlds in Atlanta. And he's a fantastic artist, and he's a total con geek. He actually donated some tiki mugs the year we had a tiki party, and it'd be really nice if I remembered his name. My really good friend. I actually haven't talked to him in a while because there was no tiki con. But really interesting guy who, like, by day is an IT guy for Home Depot, and then started this business. And isn't this beautiful?
It is gorgeous.
Yeah, and I try to talk to my goth friends when we had this tiki party. They were like, "We can't go to that. We're goth." I'm like, "Dark tiki, folks. Come on."
Yeah, I had a dark tiki party in 2015 that was insane.
Yeah, like you've never heard of Creature from the Black Lagoon. Hello.
Dark surf is a whole subgenre.
Well, there's that whole like rockabilly crossover thing too, and I just to bug them and like tell them like, no, you really can do this. I put up this Pinterest page, called Gothic Tiki, and I had like 300 people on it immediately, and like I found all this stuff like all the Cthulhu tie-ins and the Creature from the Black Lagoon and all that kind of goofy woman being sacrificed to volcano artwork. So I'd really love to do that. I think that would be really nice for the bar theme when we
Hands who has the skelly flamingos.
Yeah, well, we have a skelly. Oh, you have a skelly too. At Clifford's house, our skelly mermaid is living. Hopefully, she's still alive. How's she doing? The skelly mermaid.
Well, she's not exactly alive.
Well,
but
animated.
She does have a pirate for company.
Oh, she has a pirate. You really should have brought her tonight.
Oh, yeah. She's in the back room with him. I don't know what's going on.
You don't know what they're doing. You might not want to interrupt. Okay.
For those
Dr.
people
Bones
who
here,
are
he's too old for that kind of nonsense.
for your whole tiki thing, IKEA has tiny Easter Island owls. So small, medium, large, like table decor, and they truly look like when the guys were tired of making the big nose, they decided to make some owls. So
that's like the perfect mashup: owls and Easter Island. I mean,
yeah. And so I have unfortunately I can't show it. I can maybe take a snapshot and send it off, but I have a tall, skinny village. No, it won't show. All you'll see is the lights. But the tall, skinny porcelain village, and then there's a ton of little weird creatures and little porcelain pumpkins and all this stuff that I painted a long time ago. But when we found the tiki owls, they had to be incorporated into the Halloween village because and they're from IKEA. Yeah. So thank you, IKEA.
Oh my gosh, I've never been to IKEA.
I haven't either.
Well, Shauna, we should go risk our lives.
Well, I'm not going to risk my life, but I will say as soon as it's safe, because they have these really cool lamps that I want, and they won't ship them, and they won't.
They have tiki owls now.
Yeah, and you got to go now because.
Well, you might want to see because they do ship some things or have curbside. So you might be able to curbside. I think the reason they don't curbside the lamps is they're kind of awkward. But
I'll bet they don't curbside the food either.
No, they don't. It's really annoying.
Can't you get it to go?
Well, you can get it to go. Okay, so
The meatballs.
Terry's trying to show off.
Oh, okay.
It's backwards, but there was this fabulous sign that said, "No magic while I'm gone," except that it was annoyingly wussy looking, and so I had to repaint it. And then Thea, darling Thea, had these little skeleton creatures that could be glued on. So then, you know, it kind of needed to be bedazzled a little bit. So, but it has these lights, and the lights were so brilliant that when you turned it on, it was like, "Where were you on the night of the 13th?" I'm like, ah. So I put these little stars. Let me turn it off, see if I can get it close enough that you can see. There's these little twinkly stars that are kind of my new favorite thing. The scrapbook aisle has all these gizmos that you're supposed to make your cutesy scrapbook with, and little gems and little figures and pirate coins and all sorts of cool stuff. But they work great on costumes if you just take off their glue, and you can use E6000, or some of them actually have holes, or you can cast over them. So that's been my latest fun discovery, is the scrapbook aisle. So the "No magic while I'm gone" sign sits on the couch.
Yep, and in case you guys were wondering you may remember his Dark Materials.
Oh yes.
Or the Book of Dust. They came out with a new book, the little green book that Philip Pullman promised for years and years and years. And he said it was going to be about Will, but it's really about Lyra, apparently. And it's called Serpentine, and it's on Amazon. It's like #1, or it was #1 in something sales, or science fiction, children's science fiction, fantasy, or yeah.
Wow.
I highly recommend the Book of Dust too. So far.
Yeah, we just watched the his Dark Materials series.
Season 1.
The season 1.
Wild, yeah.
Oh my.
The new books get even wilder. Trust me.
They're fabulous. I just really liked their interpretation for the world and the costumes, and
yeah, that was really good, except for the boats. The Egyptian boats didn't feel right to me. I don't know why. They looked too industrial.
They were very industrial. Well, in a way though, that kind of
that's okay, because it's kind of modern times, making Victorian, and yeah.
Well, there's the helicopter in the first one that was kind of weirding us out.
The helicopter?
There was a helicopter in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. The gyropter or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a helicopter.
It was a plain old ordinary helicopter. We were kind of like going, but that's a helicopter.
It was a gyropter, but it was really a helicopter or whatever.
But they didn't make it into anything else. It's like, you can dress it up, says this costumer.
It's
bronze on it.
It could be the same helicopter that is in Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, that would be
nothing.
Okay, I don't know anything about the helicopter and Interview with the Vampire. Can you tell me about that?
It's suddenly there's a helicopter in a second-story window that is completely unexplained, and then it goes away, and that's it. It's just like random helicopter.
Is this in the movie or in the book?
Two characters are on a second floor of a building, and they're having a very dramatic conversation, and then suddenly there is a helicopter in the window shining its spotlight in the window so that one can go like this, and then it just goes away, and it's never explained.
I'll bet it's probably the film directors decided it randomly happened, and the film people decided, oh, let's keep this creepy moment in.
Maybe they just thought that they needed it, like having your cat walk through the Zoom meeting when
don't
you
know.
know the boss is making his great pronouncements, and then everybody who's seeing you sees the cat and goes, oh, yeah. So for all those helicopter fans, that would be Terry. That kept their attention on that movie like nothing else could. Oh my God. And it just didn't end. Oh, oops.
So I'd like to remind everybody that if you have not yet filled out your ballots and sent them in, please do so, because it's very important that everybody vote. We want everybody to
Everybody should vote.
I sure
I'm
appreciate
gonna vote,
all of
really.
you voting. Thank you for everybody that's been posting for that. I have something that goes with that, not terribly political, but just a reminder that these are challenging times. And I have here my final poem I'm going to share at Sadako's Halloween party.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we actually have to sign off now and say I love seeing all of you. This has been delightful. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you, sweetie. See you soon.
Night.
All right, we'll get ready. We're gonna almost wrapped up here. Thank you. The festivities began hours ago. No strangers to long nights here. The hors d'oeuvres were excellent. Stolen delectables from every film cuisine. The recent trend for epic fantasies providing most courses. There were drinks for those so inclined, and other drinks for those not. The host being nothing if not observant. The creature clears a throat. With the rumble of an alpine avalanche, the clear eyes scan faces, mirthful, gloomy, but most of all, unchanging. Begin. As you know, I often struggle being my authentic self. When people see me, 100 labels cover me like luggage. It's fine when I'm obscured behind a wall or an avatar, nothing but friendly voices. But as soon as they see my face, my words, my experiences mean nothing. Fiddles with the glass, still full of whatever Pazuzu poured, now flat as conversation. Stares through it as if waiting for a whiskey oracle. Everyone stays still. The background soundtrack of their minds held in one tense pause, continued, words forced out like infants, voices soft as if afraid they'd arrived miscarried. I am what society makes of me, a patchwork dream of control. People ask why I simply tell him, no need to clarify who, to build for me a sterile mate, as if that too I should have given up when he has already decided everything else. This choice too I should have relinquished. And so, after much reflection on myself and the world, I've come to a realization, and I wanted to share it now. Because Halloween is when we can most be ourselves. That I am a woman. Rushes on as if to build a scaffold under a now dropped porcelain ball. I mean, think of it. I was made as companion to a man who only saw a rival. I am well read, passionate, thoughtful, yet constantly dismissed. My agency regarded as horror, self-reliance as a threat, yet attempts at socialization an abomination. I am hounded by a system that not only perpetuates male entitlement, but rewards it. Yet I seek even a fraction for myself, and I am coded villain. My frustration reads as hysterical, anger as demonic, intelligence as deviousness, and then to not even get a say in my own reproductive process. It all makes sense. Sadako says nothing but closes her eyes. Besides, I've never totally felt right in my own skins, like someone else was beneath, always being asked to perform myself. be empty-eyed, stiff from expectation. I may not be able to control how the world sees me, but now I control how I see me. And I can spit their perceptions, use them to shine a mirror. I can recognize myself in there, a very brief moment of silence. And she panics. Was it the seeming contradiction of both choosing for herself and recognizing the environment that had shaped her? But she had always contained multitudes, paradoxes, and dilemmas. Perhaps, all being on the outside, they were glad to have someone, game of superior outcast. The Babadook responds first. His hand juts out like a grin in the moon, splitting the night as he warmly shakes her hand. Welcome to the Queer Club, he croaks. Kyoko wipes tears from alabaster skin. The Baroness Bathory, always a more appealing guest than her cousin, glides over, no stranger to women's maligned plight. You have always been beautiful, she intones, with the brutally beautiful authority of an Iron Maiden. I am so thrilled that you can finally witness your own magnificence. Sadako simply opens her arms, sleeves like cold water, a hug like a baptism. And hey, Pazazu chirps, pouring a fresh glass, you can finally choose a name for yourself. No more being defined by relation, belonging to no one. She looks around at faces, some mirthful, some gloomy, but most of all, unchanging in their love for her. For the first time, she silently thanks her makers for functional tear ducts. How else could she release all this joy? The Babadook runs around, making sure everyone has something to lift and toast. Sadako lifts her eggshell cup. To you and whoever you know yourself to be, everyone drinks. The party goes on forever. It's always Halloween somewhere. That Wittgenstein comes out as trans at Sadaku's Halloween party. All right. Hey, this has been a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for letting me share this with you.
Thank you for putting on this wonderful party.
It's been a lot of fun. What a great chance to get together and see everybody, see you all dressed up. And just to kind of, shake a fist in defiance to say that Halloween is not canceled and it goes on. Way to go, costumers. I'm proud of you. That's why I love this guild and this chapter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. All right. Hey, everybody, post something on the Facebook page. Let everybody else know that you're alive and that you're doing something.
Take a picture of that.
Yeah, put some pictures up. You all look great. Nice to see you. We want to have more people come to our teas. So we've got stuff scheduled out through the end of the year. So we got all kinds of good stuff coming up. Watch the calendar. We've got workshops. We've got teas.
Yeah,
we've got a membership meeting coming up.
The teas are always the third Wednesday, and the Stitch and Bitch is the second Sunday. So I don't know. Maybe the tea should be the third Thursday, so it's alliterate. What's that word, Shauna?
Alliterative.
Thank you. I don't know, but for now it's Wednesday. Thank you for those of you who rushed from work.
Also, I had two ideas for possible teas.
Okay. Well, let's talk. I'll be around tomorrow evening. I'm working during the day right now.
And by the way, Lorian, it wouldn't be alliterative unless it's Tea Tuesday. Thursday doesn't alliterate.
Oh, Thursday doesn't work?
No, because even though it's the same initial letter, it's a different consonant. It's a different sound.
It's a weird.
Oh, well, I don't know. It seems like Wednesday's working, so we'll leave it. But I don't know. We just picked Wednesday at random.
Well,
if
I think
other
we
people
did because there was, because Tuesday's session night.
Right. Well, that.
Yeah.
There's some friends of ours who do an Irish music session every Tuesday evening. You guys should catch that. I post it in the group every once in a while. It's Whitethorn Crossing, and friends who do a live Irish session. Well, actually, they haven't had friends lately, have they? Just them.
Yeah,
Or
well,
they have
it's
sit-ins.
because they don't. They're quarantining very strictly. It's actually what they're doing though, even though it is. Well, actually, when it's just two of them, it's otter crossing. I know it's hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's otter crossing running the Tigerville session. They usually it used to be. I don't know if everyone knows what a session is. It's when Irish musicians, all traditional musicians, get together in a pub and they're kind of learning off of one another. That's how traditional musicians learn the trade. And so they used to run it every Tuesday at the Tigerville station. And of course, Tigerville station got free music out of it, so it worked for everyone. But of course, with COVID, they couldn't run the sessions at this Tigerville station, so they started doing it online, and they play. And the idea is that the session regulars can play along with them wherever they are. I mean, it's not everyone else isn't online, just them, but they can keep in practice with session playing that way.
What instruments would you recommend?
Pardon?
What instruments would you recommend for newcomers? I'm interested.
Well, right now, the only people that are actually online and audible are the musicians, or I'm sorry, the fiddle and guitar / keyboards, the people who are actually running it. If you want to start practicing now to be able to go to Tigerville Station when it's open, you would want any Irish, well, what they call, it's loosely Irish traditional, because technically guitars aren't Irish traditional and neither are banjos, but the instruments that show up in what's considered traditional music. So
and singers.
And singers, yeah.
Drummers,
Yeah, Baron
drums. Find some online drum circles.
Yeah, they do the Baron drums, the flute. If you have, we don't have a flute player actually, so that'd be cool. Harp.
Donna, how do you
rarely have a harp. What?
How do you access this? Is it on
I'll
Facebook?
post a link. They do a live. Do they use Facebook Live? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. So if you want to be able to comment on the sessions and also get online early and get the list of what's going to be played, just go to West Side Irish Session.
Yeah, I'll post a link.
Yeah,
very friendly.
And
they played at our ball. I mean, that's our connection. They played at our ball, and they're wonderful. So good people.
They played a lot of my book launches as well. So
I'm trying to get together a Hobbit musical with traditional-ish music.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's all like traditional style Middle Earth music that's like super medieval. It's hard to explain really, because I'm not entirely sure what I need, but yeah, I've been working on it for 7 years.
Try the harp, Mike.
Micah. What?
Try the harp.
That's what I was thinking.
Get yourself a small harp.
God,
that's such wonderful music.
I've been trying to get parents to buy me a harp for years. Mom. They're saying I should buy a harp.
You're very creative, Micah. I'm sure you could make a small one.
I'm sure I could too, but I don't know where I'd find the string, like dental floss.
Cat gut.
Hey.
No cat gut. No.
Guitar strings.
It's goth night. We must say cat gut. You must be authentic.
Also, Micah, if you're looking for, I don't think he often carries harps, but you can probably get one in, or at least could advise you where to go to get a harp. Newberg Music. They are, first of all, he's a good guy. He plays frequently at the sessions, and also he is luthier, meaning he makes string and wood instruments.
Oh yeah.
And if he doesn't make harps, or if he doesn't have harps, and he can put you in touch with people who, you know, can get you what you need.
Yeah, I'm also gonna need kind of viola da gamba type things, but yeah, that's.
If you,
I'm not sure if I'm not sure that's for the official final musical, so yeah.
Yeah. Talk to GD at Newburgh Music. He's the owner, or one of the co-owners, and he is the one who can talk to you about all sorts of ranges of instruments. He's also a fantasy person, so he will, if you tell him you want to play Hobbit music, you'll get more information than you ever wanted.
I don't just want to play Hobbit music. I want my whole cast to play Hobbit music, or at least the cast of dwarves and maybe Bilbo.
Okay, so you're doing a musical? You're putting together a musical?
I've been doing a musical ever since Desolation of Smaug came out, and I decided, I can do better than this guy, Peter Jackson. Even though I loved his previous movie, The Unexpected Journey, which was actually pretty good, but then I switched. Then I decided, I saw the next movie. It was kind of terrible for me. See how he improvised, the way he improvised everything. So yeah, he's on a schedule apparently, and that's his excuse now. Anyway, yeah, it was interesting.
You could try the music of Vequinox, VEQINOX. This is a band in Portland.
Yeah,
very unusual music, and maybe you'd like them.
I like very unusual Vequinox.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check them out, and yeah, I know that very unusual is what I'm looking for in The Hobbit, because, well, there's this whole crazy idea I had that for this one particular instrument, also kind of a weapon. When
the police have those.
It's a musical instrument that's like a staff, like a quarter staff.
Okay.
That turns into a pointy quarter staff type thing when you press the right button.
Nice.
Because it's dwarvish, and dwarves can do that, or when you turn the gear a certain way. This knob, this one particular knob turns it into a weapon or something. Yeah, that was my idea and it was actually derived from one of Tolkien's drafts. He thought the idea was terrible later on. So yeah, I'm a little bit, yeah, I was like, ooh, this could be a way to differentiate myself a little bit, but Tolkien also didn't approve this idea, so yeah. It was very because he couldn't figure out how to do it without magic.
Well, the other thing is, I mean, music, people who actually know about musical instruments would rip it apart, because the thing with musical instruments, especially woodwinds, is all of your sound and all of your tone comes from the spaces within it, the hollow spaces. So if you have stuff, mechanisms, whatever.
Unless it was all metal and there was room for the hollow spaces, or yeah.
If you had something the size of a bow staff that was metal, it would be it would be too heavy to be functional as a weapon.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, this is fantasy. It doesn't have to be functional.
Oh, you have not seen fantasy readers. Yeah, you can do whatever you want, but you have to be prepared to be flayed alive for it by your audience.
Yeah, terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's just an idea for now. It's just, Yeah, I
You
might.
can always hire musicians, and then you can concentrate on directing and writing too. You know.
No, I'm not gonna hire musicians. I'm doing this all myself. I
Oh
don't
my
trust
goodness.
anybody else. But
Okay.
yeah, it's like I don't trust anybody else at this point. But yeah, it's really good so far.
Alrighty then. Well, folks, I need to vamoose. Was there anybody that had any other thing they were going to share? Mary?
Love you, Lorianne. Love you, Richard.
I had a very quick story, a very brief story, but I wanted to tell this story about my brother who bought a haunted lighthouse, and it's become quite famous. He bought it in 1992, but the lighthouse was built in 1898, I believe, or 88. It was very old. When lighthouses were used in Upper Michigan to along the rocky shoreline of Lake Superior, and they were hauling timber and iron ore on sailing vessels out of the area and going east, and so they needed lighthouses. And several people came to terrible ends there, and it became known as haunted. And the first was one of the lighthouse keepers whose son fell and died there. And then someone went crazy there, and someone hung themselves, and they didn't find him, one of the lighthouse keepers, for 18 months. So there wasn't much left. And then another crime and murder was committed there, which was portrayed in a Jimmy Stewart movie. And it took place in 1941 when this property was used as training grounds for soldiers. So anyway, there was a third, and so we went to visit them, my brother and his wife, and it was a fascinating place. They owned all of the original outbuildings and the Fresnel lens and all the bits and pieces that went to it. And anyway, my sister-in-law, there was many sightings of these ghosts, and so it became sort of popular that people would go and stay. It was a bed and breakfast with 7 rooms, and you could stay. So we went there and stayed, and she told me that, and she told this to several magazines also, because it became a tourist attraction for people wanting to experience a haunted place. Anyway, kind of a good story. And so one night, the ghosts were really active, and the water kept turning on in the kitchen, and the cupboard doors in the kitchen were slamming open and shut, and it was very loud, and the water was on full blast, and they were sleeping. And my sister-in-law, who's a Catholic and very Italian, she gave it what she calls the Italian exorcism. She went in there, all this is going, this terrible noise, and all these cupboards are crashing open and shut, and the water is on, and everything's going at once. And she goes in there and she says, I know you don't like change. I know you're ghosts and you don't want things to change, but they're changing. And I want you to stop. And it did. It stopped. And she calls it the Italian exorcism because she was saying this at the top of her lungs to overpower the sound that was happening in the kitchen. And they didn't come back. The ghosts didn't come back. The tourists still go there. to, it's no longer a bed and breakfast, but people go there to experience the haunting. And very interesting story. And of course, there was this movie made there about one of the murders that was there. And Jimmy Stewart plays in that. And that was in 1941. But it was kind of a bad movie. We didn't like it, but it was a true story that happened in my family. And she is a great Italian grandma type. And she told the ghosts that she wasn't going to take it anymore. They had created all this trouble for her. And finally she had enough and she gave him the exorcism, the Italian style. And it was a great story and true.
She ruined it. She ruined your attraction.
Yeah, maybe. That may. I've done a few similar things. Or heard of a few. Yeah. Well,
you can read about it.
Somebody died in.
What's the name of the place?
It's called Big Bay Lighthouse in the Upper Peninsula.
I seek out ghosts some of the time.
Do you remember the name of the movie?
Yeah. Let me look that up. It's
what was the name of that movie? I'm genuinely curious.
I've seen every single Jimmy Stewart movie several times over.
Really? Okay.
Ones we know.
The movie Anatomy of a Murder.
Oh, it's been a while, so I'll have to bring that up.
Yeah.
Mostly courtroom drama, so it's not that great. But it was actually filmed in the town. They call it Thunder Bay because it's more dramatic.
Last chance, Kitty Boo.
Yeah.
Well, I decided I came up with the perfect way to test for a ghost once.
It's okay, Kitty. We're just gonna
anyway.
So people.
They filmed
that
movie in the pub in the town, which we went.
See people. Say hi to the people. He's really pissed off at me right now. Okay, go on. I'm probably not going to see her there until tomorrow. Oh, she's mad. I can hear her running away. It's like thunder, thunder, thunder. You know she's pissed.
Did anybody see the recent movie, The Lighthouse? It was filmed in black and white.
No.
I think it was on Amazon a while ago. It was pretty interesting. It's just two guys in a lighthouse, and they're kind of crazy. It's one of those movies. My other favorite movie with the lighthouse is The Eye of the Needle. Have you seen that? It's a World War II drama, and gosh, who's the actor? The guy who was in The Body Snatchers.
I don't know.
Sutherland?
He's in it. Sutherland. Donald Sutherland's in it. And he's in a submarine, and he I don't know, somehow he gets in a boat, I don't know, and he crashes on the rocks, and the lighthouse keeper has died, and the wife is there alone, and so she has to deal with this guy, so the whole time she's wondering if he's a German spy or not. It's really dramatic. It's really wonderful. If you watch the Doctor Who program, which I should remember the name of, that has the lighthouse in it.
Rock.
The sea monster is kind of based on that. It has several nods to the Eye of the Needle.
That was Horror of Fang Rock is the one.
Fang Rock,
yeah.
Horror of Fang Rock has a lot of nods to Eye of the Needle. But wonderful, one of the suspenseful, dramatic, lots of sexual tension. Is she in love with Donald Sutherland? Is he a spy? Will he injure her or kill her, or is he a good guy? And it kind of leaves you to decide, which is also kind of nice.
Yeah, it's like Miracle on 34th Street.
I don't know. There's no Santa Claus.
Well, there's that ending scene where Kris Kringle has the cane and stuff.
I'll have to watch that again. It's been a long time.
After all. And then what's his name, who looks kind of like Jimmy Stewart? It's like maybe we didn't do such a good thing after all, because they find the cane in the house that he used to beat what's his name with in the house.
Well, Donald Sutherland in this movie singularly brought back fisherman sweaters. I want you to know he's quite wonderful in his very classic fisherman sweater. So it's worth watching it just for him. I can't remember who the lady was. Anyway, well, I've got to sign off. It was really nice seeing everyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off too.
I don't know if we'll have another program before Halloween, but Shauna, if you post that on your page, your Halloween thing, and we'll share it, we'll figure it out. You can always text me.
I wanted to tell you guys all about the time I got a ghost. I pissed off a ghost so bad he may have tried to possess me or something.
Oh dear, I can't imagine.
Yeah, it was a female ghost. I can tell because I kind of lured her out with as many sexist thoughts as I could muster.
Is that how you got rid of it?
No, that's how I summoned it.
Oh no! You summoned an angry feminist ghost?
I think so. And then I said, "Whoa, this isn't me. I'm so sorry." And then I came back and just specifically to apologize for luring her out. Because
okay, well, don't mess with those things.
Yeah.
Say hi to your family for me. Tell Karen I miss her.
Bye.
I know Karen's doing
Bye,
phone
guys.
banking too.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Adios. Bye, Richard. Bye, Clifford.
Bye.
Good night, John boy. I figure out how to leave here.
Right down there.